Hey, what's up guys, Luke here from Fiends. It's been a long time, but I'm back with new graphics, a new set, and some new stuff to talk about. So to kick things off, I thought I'd start talking about Nintendo Switch, why not? Everyone's talking about it, we've been teased with it for a long time, almost all has been revealed, so I figured this is a good video to kick things off with, so let's take a look. It's no secret that Nintendo has had a pretty rocky time in the last few years. Despite the phenomenal success of the Wii, many core gamers felt alienated by a shitstorm of bad releases, and then the Wii U alienated everyone else due to some pretty crappy marketing. Both systems were also notoriously underpowered, using less generation technology, but still had some of the best games of the last few generations, from Mario Galaxy to Bayonetta 2. Nintendo now look as though they are ready to pull the cord on the Wii U in exchange for the all-new Nintendo Switch, a hybrid console that can be used indoors and on the move. Many people, myself included, were super excited about this. What an awesome concept for a console that can be used outdoors and on the move. However, as time went on, Nintendo began to Nintendo it. Firstly, it's all but been confirmed that the console is using an old Tegra 1 chip to power its system. This chip is most famously used in the Nvidia Shield, a 4-year-old console, and in computer land 4 years is hella old. However, it is also worth mentioning that everything has been fully customised to support the Switch, and so should offer noticeably better quality than previous Nintendo consoles and the Nvidia Shield. Check out Digital Foundry's video for a more in-depth look at the specs. In fact, in terms of design, I think this is a fantastic design. I mean, it's a hybrid console that can be used outdoors and indoors, and I think the specs are actually very good. They've had to basically design a console that can give you good graphical output, but not at the expense of too much power. At the press conference, it was confirmed that the battery power will be between 2.5 to 6 hours long, which isn't anything to write home about, but it's not bad either, and you can also plug extra batteries into it, which is pretty cool. When you take the console from the dock to bring it outside, there will be a dip in performance, which is to be expected. You know, if they want the battery power to last longer, the performance will have to suffer somewhat. However, from what I hear, it's hardly noticeable. And it's also worth mentioning as well to people who are obsessed with polygons and graphic counts and just crazy technical stuff, that polygons and power alone don't make good games. Game design is almost slightly different, and this is something Nintendo are the kings at. They make fantastic games. They made games like Mario Sunshine on old technology and it looked incredible. So good game design and good gameplay and gameplay mechanics count for a lot. It was then revealed that the console would use memory cards, which is kind of a throwback to the cartridge days, and also a great way to reduce loading times, something that plagues the likes of Xbox One and the PS4, so I'm down for this. The conference then went on to talk about the controls. I love the fact that you can take the console out with you and separate the Joy-Con controllers into 2 controllers to use for 2-player or multiplayer games. The unit itself is also finally using a capacitive touchscreen technology, and overall I really like the design, apart from the slightly ugly base unit for home gaming. So far, all coming up rosy, right? Of course Nintendo went and Nintendo'd it. What the fuck do you think they're gonna do? So firstly, overall the conference was awkward. It was just super awkward. But first thing, and the most importantly, let's talk about the games. It has got a terrible launch lineup. It's got ARMS and some other random games that I don't care about, apart from Bomberman. I always love Bomberman. But they've only got one killer app, and that is basically Zelda, which we've been teased with for the last so many years. And yes, it looks incredible to the point where I never used to play Zelda games. I need this Zelda game. It looks fucking badass. Problem is, the next killer app, Mario, which again looks crazy good, apart from the slightly disjointed look of the humans compared to Mario. Like, what's Mario? Is weird. Looks incredible. Anyway, moving on. But then you've got games like ARMS. Like, what's ARMS? These games are glorified tech demos. Some of these games should have been put in there for free. This is ridiculous. Firstly, there's the price of the console, £280. It's actually pretty fair. Well, I'll give them that, it's pretty fair. But then no, Nintendo going Nintendo it again. Of course they Nintendo it again, because for a game it's going to cost you around £60+. For a Pro controller it's going to cost you £60+, and for the Joy-Con controllers it's going to cost you £70 plus, which is utterly stupid. Now, come on, Nintendo, what are you doing? You got to remember that we're living in a time where you can get a PlayStation 4 and then an Xbox One that are both superior consoles in terms of specs, and they've got massive game libraries because they've been out for years, and they've got tons of online support as well, fantastic online services. There's a lot going for it, and they're all really cheap now. Well, considerably cheap. I mean, the Xbox One S is awesome. I mean, you get the 4K Blu-ray player in it. So this, to me, just screams arrogance by Nintendo. I don't know why they are so out of touch with what's going on in the gaming world. I know they make novel experiences, but this is utterly stupid. Woosah. There's more. Let's start with this. Nintendo have finally gone region free. Yes, awesome. About time, you know, everyone was doing that a fair few years ago now, so thumbs up for that. But then, to play online, you're going to need an app for your phone. What the fuck is this about? So 15 years ago, I was playing my friends on my Xbox, my original Xbox, and talking to people the other side of the world 15 years ago. Come on, this is stupid. Sort the online out. I've always said Nintendo should have the best online operating system of every single console. I mean, it's crazy now because none of those other consoles had the kind of back catalogue that Nintendo had. No way. And they still don't. I mean, you've got loads of indie games now on both consoles, some of which are absolutely incredible and fantastic. But let's face it, they ain't got Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, and so on. So this is just utterly ridiculous and out of touch. And then to add insult to injury, they've basically said for the online service, which is a subscription-based service, again, totally fair, totally understand that. It means they can make the service really good, theoretically, but it's Nintendo. They've basically said that to draw you in, they're going to give 1 to 2 free games a month away. Oh no, sorry, they're not going to do that. They're going to lend you between 1 and 2 NES or SNES games every single month. Lend you, so that means at the end of that month, it's presumably you're going to have to give it back. Now, contrast this against the PlayStation 4, Microsoft, which give you awesome, incredible games, often incredible games, for free, for the duration that you subscribe, and then if you resubscribe, you get those games to play again. It's just so out of touch. What is going on? You've got a concept that for a console that's got people super excited. You've marketed it correctly. People actually know that it's different. They know it's a new console. And in spite of the graphical shortcomings, people love the idea of it. But then you go and do this shit. What the fuck are you doing? Just get outside and look what other people are doing. You can make your novel experiences and all this cool innovation that you always bring, but you've got to do stuff that appeals to people. Simple stuff that just makes sense, like sorting your online operating system out, making it worth actually using the online system. Come up with a trophy system. It's great to go trophy hunting. It encourages communities to get together to help with the games. Whew, come on man, sort this out, Nintendo. I don't know who's in charge or what they do at those meetings, but it's like they say, oh, we've got a great idea, now let's see how we can Nintendo it. And yes, I'm using Nintendo now as a way to explain when someone's fucked something up. I mean, come on, it's just beyond me. However, I still am super excited about the console. I probably won't get it on release day. I don't see the point. I didn't get the Wii U on release day because I had feelings that it wouldn't work, and it didn't. It's not to say I feel the same about the Switch. I think they're going to do, I really do think they're going to do a lot better with the Switch. The price of the console is quite attractive in spite of all the other stupidly priced accessories. And even though you only get one awesome game at launch, which is Zelda, I think they've got it in them to stick around. But if they keep making decisions like this is I can't see them going anywhere after this. I mean, their arrogance basically means they're always walking a knife edge, and so far their gambles have paid off. But after this, how can it? The Wii U lived a short life, and this could destroy Nintendo in terms of consoles. But on the other hand, it would be absolutely epic to see Mario on Sony or Microsoft consoles, because it's their games, not their consoles really, that people absolutely love. So what do you think of the Nintendo Switch? You going to go out and buy one? You're going to wait for a while? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and for your fix, keep it Screen Fiends.